Order. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Present.
Here.
Here. Present.
Here. Here. Here.
Here.
Here. Thank you so much. Next item, please. Everyone, please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item, please. Invocation. Okay, we will have our introduction of our invocator by Commissioner Martha G. Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have the honor of introducing a longtime friend, Apostle Joseph Hobbs, PhD, pastor. Apostle Joseph Hobbs was born November the 19th, 1958, along with a twin sister, Josephine. His proud parents were the late Unity Cheney Hobbs and the late Boris Hobbs. He is the sixth of 7 children born to this union. He was married to the former Brenda F. Gould on July 11th, 1981. They were blessed with a beautiful daughter, Danielle Faye Hobbs, born on January 12th, 1994. The Reverend Hobbs is a native Detroiter who graduated with honors from Chastity High School in 1976. He then traveled to Dallas, Texas, to attend Bishop College, where he majored in religion and philosophy. Apostle Hobbs was conferred the degree of Doctor of Theology from the Minnesota Graduate School of Theology in September 2002. Reverend Hobbs and his wife Brenda have served as pastors of the Triumph Life Christian Church, formerly Eastern Star Missionary Baptist Church. Since October 1988, together they have spiritually given birth to over 30 ministers of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Dr. Hobbs is well known for his compassion, powerful preaching style, and exemplary teaching. He is affectionately referred to as the pastor with a tender heart for all people. He was actively involved in the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated, BM&E State Congress, and the Fellowship District Baptist Association. He was also a member of the Council of Baptist Pastors of Detroit and vicinity. He is the past chief chaplain of the Wayne County Sheriff's Department Chaplain Corps and past president of NOAA, which is the Northeast Organization Allied for Hope. He currently serves as a board member and adjunct professor to the Velma Roseman School of Prophetess. He has a special concern and deeply held commitment to helping the youth of the community. He established the Eastern Star Community Action Program for Education called ESCAPE, especially to assist in the education of youth between the ages of 5 and 18. He has created a special Hallelujah Night on October 31st to replace the usual Halloween activities and to provide a safe and enjoyable celebration for all young people. So I give to you this morning Apostle Hobbs.
Thank you, Commissioner Scott, and thank you, Commissioner Bell. Shall we pray? Spirit of the living God, fall fresh upon us this day. Imbue us, endow us with power from above. Look down upon thy servants with favor. Grant us your presence to fulfill the purpose for which this body exists. Grant your power to perform their various callings and assignments with deliberate will, focus, and fortitude. Grant them your mercy so that they will consider the least among us in all that they attempt to do for the county. Grant that this august body show goodwill and represent the heart of God for everyone that you have charged them to serve. Guide this body to make just decisions from a heart filled with integrity. In their deliberations, let them seek common ground for the good of all people of the county. God, use the members of this body to do your will. Grant that your grace be evident in their dealings with one another. David said in Psalm 82 and verse 3, defend the cause of the weak and fatherless, maintain the rights of the poor and oppressed. May we honor one another, glorify our God, and live in peace with all men. It is in the name of Jesus, God's Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you for that awesome prayer, Apostle Hobbs. Thank you, Commissioner Scott. Next item, please.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun,
Move for approval.
their support. Thank you. Any discussion on the approval of the journal? Can we vote? Still roll call. Okay, for the reading and correction and approval of the journal, we'll do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Anyone wish to
Went
abstain?
down to the
Motion carries.
boat launch. They like to screw around down there. Yeah, down to the boat launch. Yesterday we did the whole
Can
circle,
you mute, please?
but
Hold, please, while we mute our lovely people. Thank you. It's gonna be one of those days. Okay, here we go. Next item, Madam Clerk. Just one thing, I'd like to recognize Representative Cara Clemente, who is here with us today. Stand, Representative. And she also won the primary for Wayne County Commission number 4 on the Democratic side. So we want to say congratulations to you for winning your primary and good luck at the general. Welcome. And she'll be with us all day learning about the commission. So enjoy your day. It'll be great. Next item, please. We're going to move this to later in the agenda. We'll come back under other testimonials. Next item. Thank you, Commissioner Hayes. Okay. So this item is being withdrawn. We don't need a motion. The department withdrew it. We have the email stating that they're withdrawing it for further analysis. Thank you, Commissioner Hayes. Next item. Commissioner Varga.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval of the entire report.
It's been moved and supported. Committee on Ways and Means, any discussion on any of the items on the Committee on Ways and Means? I understand that we can vote now. Any discussion on the Ways and Means agenda? Hearing none, please vote. And again, for our listening, I'm sorry, go ahead, Madam Clerk. For our listening audience, we vet all of our items during committee, and they come to the full board for final disposition. Next item.
We are on page 4 of the agenda, Report C from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There are 2 items listed.
Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval, item number 1 and 2.
Okay, it's been moved and supported for the 2 items under the Health and Human Services report. Any discussion on these items?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Kniezek.
Thank you. In addition to the vote we're about to take, I hope that the clerk might put me down as an abstention on item 1.
Staying on item 1. Okay. Noted. Any further discussion on items 1 and 2 on the Health and Human Services Committee? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries and have Commissioner Kniezek as an abstention on item 1.
Thank you. Next item.
We're on Report D from the Committee on Audit. There is 1 item listed.
Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have 1 item to receive and file. I move that item.
Moved and supported to receive and file the item under the audit report. Commissioner Khalil.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee received at this meeting, as you see, the audit with regards to the medical examiner's contract. And so I encourage all my colleagues, if they have not read that report yet, we do have an item today with regards to the new MEO, and there'll be more coming, the new contract with Wayne State University. But this audit is an excellent background for you. So I encourage everyone to take a look at it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Basham.
Yeah, that was a very extensive audit, Madam Chair, and it wouldn't have happened without the expertise and support of the Auditor General, her staff, and others. But it was very extensive. It was a performance audit, and it was very professionally done per auditing standards. Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to thank also the Auditor General for the time, effort, thoroughness of that report. We appreciate your professionalism of you and your staff to get that done for us. Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I too want to thank the Auditor General for the commission. It was a very thorough report. I was unable to attend the actual meeting, but we dug into it, and this new partnership with Wayne State, I think in analyzing your audit, it's going to make the transition smoother to ensure that some of the things that happen prior to this new partnership won't happen again. So I do appreciate the audit. Thank you.
Any further discussion on the auditor report? Here, I'm sorry, Commissioner.
I just want to also mention that I'm on the audit committee. So I also am very, very thankful to our auditor. But also I want to mention that our medical director did a very fine job in defending and accepting the report and the recommendations of the audit. She did a very nice presentation, and I'm very, very pleased with the direction that she's taking the health department. Thank you.
Speaking of Director Jordan.
Yes, Director Jordan.
Thank you. Yes, she is. She was with the auditor staff throughout the whole process and accepted many of the recommendations already. And then the ones that have not been implemented already are in the process of being implemented. So thank you. I don't know if Director Jordan is here.
Very fine job.
Yes, thank you. And I'll also say that our COO, Janelle Allen, has been extremely involved in the MEO's office. And I want to thank her for her work. And again, they'll have something for us to analyze with the Wayne State agreement in the very near future so that we can, if all is well, go forward with that starting October 1. Any further discussion on the audit report? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, please.
We're on report E from the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. There are 4 items listed on pages 5 and 6 of the agenda.
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we receive and file item number 1 and approval of item 2, 3, and 4.
Moved and supported. Any discussion on the public safety report?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd ask that the clerk mark me down as an abstention on item 4.
Duly noted.
Any additional discussion on the public safety report? Please vote.
Motion carries, and I have Commissioner Knizik as an abstention on item 4.
Thank you. Next item, please.
We're on report F from the Committee on Senior Citizens and Veterans Affairs. There's 1 item listed.
Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Have approval of item number 1.
It's been moved. There's support. Moved and supported for the 1 item on the Senior Citizens and Veteran Affairs. Any discussion on that item? Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote. Thank you. Next item. Okay, please note the upcoming meetings. If there are any changes, please let the clerk know. Next item.
And 3 on the addenda. Item number 1 is requesting commission approval of the appointment of Detroit Police Commander Tiffany Stewart to serve as a member of the Community Corrections Advisory Board.
Commissioner Clark Coleman. Been moved and supported. As you all know, the Community Corrections Advisory Board indicates who should serve on that board, and Chief White recommended Tiffany Stewart as a member for the to replace Constance Lappy from the Detroit Police Department. Any discussion on this item? Please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item number 2 is requesting commission approval of the appointment of Andrew Candrivas to the position of Director of the Department of Public Services.
Okay, Mr. Candrivas, to the microphone, please. We're going to put you on the hot seat, Andy.
Madam Chair, definitely anticipated today as I'm on the agenda. So I just thought maybe somebody wanted to kick it off, but it's okay. I'm all right. I don't need it. It's all right. It's all right.
Madam Chair, to this honorable body, Kalora Hall, Chief Administrative Officer of Wayne County. You know, this is it's going to be emotional, but it's a great day. You know, I'm not going to say something about Andrew Candrivas that you all don't already know. You know, he spent time in the State House. You know what he's done for the last 7+ years with you all. What you may not know is that since May, since he's been the interim director, I've never seen the department run better. I've never seen the employees more happy. I've never seen the leadership positions filled. We are doing more lane miles. We are issuing more permits. People are happier at work today than they ever have been in this department. And so I implore you to please make Andrew Candrivas the permanent director of the Department of Public Services.
I move approval.
Support. Been moved and supported. Discussion, Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's some things that people didn't know about young Andrew. He does have a couple of daughters. And also he is from downriver. So that leans me to supporting him. Thank you.
Madam Chair, if I can comment on that, I got to tell you, it's, I think the first time in print, it said Andrew Candrivas of Grosse Pointe Woods. Like, it's been Andrew Candrivas of Southgate like my whole life. And a few years ago, I moved into a new home in Grosse Pointe Woods. So it's just been a little bit of a shock to see that in writing, I got to tell you. So thank you very much for that, that mentioned, Commissioner Basham. Always be a down-to-earth boy at heart.
Do you want to make any comments, Mr. Candrivas, about your vision for the department?
Yeah, if I could just have a minute, you know, I just, through the chair to all the commissioners, those of you on the budget hearing, you know, I put forward some things there that I hope to accomplish with, you know, first of all, it's a complete honor to be here representing all the great hardworking staff we have in the Department of Public Services. I've gotten to know every department. I could say that. I've gotten to know every department in this county. And I can say wholeheartedly, I am very enthusiastic about leading this department, Department of Public Services. The work they do is close to my heart. I really love watching them in the environmental side and also on the road side. We have hundreds of hardworking, loyal employees, and I'm very excited to take up their cause and to help them. One of the things I'd like to really do is improve our service delivery. I think I got to know a lot of you through the DPS because you were issues that you face with your residents are many times DPS issues. And so we're going to improve delivery of those services. We're going to work with our employees and management team to do what we can to beef up our numbers. It's a real challenging environment globally right now to attract new people. I think some of the things in front of you today, some of the agreement in front of you today will go a long way towards helping us with that. So I want to improve service delivery by improving our workforce, using supplemental contracts when needed. And then I also really want to improve communications. You know, it was always my goal as the liaison from the commissioner's office or from the executive office to the commission of improving communication. We need to make sure we're doing that to all our constituent communities, as well as everybody that uses all of our roads and bridges throughout the county every day. So I would say those two things are my real focus in this job.
I got it working on.
Want to say something? I'm sorry, commissioners. Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Andy, I'm really looking forward to fixing all the damn roads in Wayne County.
Well, I can help.
But on a serious note, I want to thank you for being very responsive throughout the last few years, and you're going to do very well, and we're here to help you, and it's going to be a good run for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. You certainly have a large shoes to fill with our beloved Beverly Watts, who's no longer here at the county. She's still alive, but she's no longer at the county.
Absolutely still alive.
Yes, but we look forward to your leadership going in a new direction, and what DPS can be, you'll make it even greater. Commissioner Varga?
Thank you. And you are keeping the same phone number, correct?
I have added a phone, so I'm not subtracting phones. Let's put it that way. I've added 2 phone numbers.
I was going to say I have his cell phone number, so it's still good.
So good until
Thank you.
we put it out there to the world, and I'll change it.
Thank you, Commissioner.
We haven't had that always, so it's kind of refreshing. So
Absolutely.
I'm very happy about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Clark Coleman?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Andy, you do have big shoes to fill. I think that Beverly was outstanding. Well, I need to say that. Secondly, I think I hope that you'll work on a plan to get the exits and entrances of the freeways cleaned up. That's my, because I hear it every day from my constituents. The entrances and exits of the 96 and it's just deplorable. I know that that's MDOT, but I hope that you can work with MDOT to come up with a plan to clean those areas up. It's just terrible. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Basham?
To that point, Madam Chair, when I first got on the commission, I got those same complaints, and that's about 12 plus years ago. I met with Mayor Duggan to try to have a meeting to get Detroit, Wayne County, and MDOT working together on exits and entrances to the freeways. And the response I got in a very polite way was, that's not my job, that's the county's job, or that's the state's job, and Detroit didn't want to even be involved in it. So a little history there, you know, Mayor Duggan's a nice guy, but he didn't want to deal with that issue. And there was people living in tents going on the freeway and coming off. There was litter, there was all sorts of stuff. And, you know, he's a nice guy, but quite frankly, he kicked the can on that one. So I didn't want to not know that we have history on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Thank you. And to that point, I did have a meeting with the mayor. You know, I'm fighting the war on trash. So that's one of my pet peeves. And he is moving from blight to beauty. And that's one of the campaigns that he's now committed to going down that road. So I'm hoping to see some changes in that area. So I would like you to still revisit that conversation with the mayor as well as with the state, because we do need to clean up the damn roads. We do. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I'll end on one little positive note to that same end. On the exit ramp to 96 and Joy Road, just 2 days ago, I noticed City of Detroit crews actually cleaning up the trash and mowing down the weeds that were there. So I'm glad that the mayor is realizing that we need to do that. But also we have to realize we have to change our mind as a community that you can't stop at a red light and dump all of your trash from your car onto the streets as well. So it's a two-pronged approach. But Andy, we've digressed a bit. but I think the main point is that we want you to work closely with the cities and the state to keep our roads raised and our freeways clean, and keep the persons who are under the viaducts giving them the treatment or where they need to go so they're not living under there. And of course, the paving schedule, keeping that up so that we will have good roads to drive on in the summer and salted roads in the winter. So we look forward to your leadership. We look forward to you keeping us abreast of all the activities that you'll be doing. And I do have another question.
Yeah, just a quick thank you, Andy. I got a call from one of my residents in Dearborn just the weekend before homecoming. Greenfield, which is the responsibility of Wayne County, under the bridge, there were a lot of overgrowth and litter, and Andy was very responsive. He made sure it was done with Eddie Fakuri. Thank you, Eddie. He made sure it was done before the start of homecoming. Thank you again, Andy.
Well, if I don't thank me, thank our crews that went out and did it. But I will say this, that goes right into our communication strategy. We need to know ahead of time from our communities on the certain areas and events that they're going to be having so that we can make sure that to get our crews there in time. So that's definitely one thing we're going to work on.
Great. Commissioner Hayes.
Thank you, Madam the Chair. Andy, I really like to thank you on job well done as a liaison with the Public Service Department in the past. And as you know, my district have too many issues and too many different area in the Public Service Department. And I hope your leadership would be on the same level as a liaison. You did an excellent job. And I hope you give a little bit of extra attention to the forestry division. That really been issue for last 7 years since I've been in the commission. And it looked to me like the forestry division need to be improved, especially in the rural area where we receive most of the complaint. The expectation is too high, and I know you will qualify for it. I want to thank you for your service in the past and wish you well in your new endeavor as a director of that department. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further discussion on the approval of the appointment of Andrew Candrivas of Grosse Pointe to the position of Director of Department of Public Services? Oh, yes, Commissioner Martha G. Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No, in Detroit, Highland Park, we don't seem to get the services that some others get. So I am, now that you are the director, I look forward to continuing to work with you on those and out of drive. The pastor I had here this morning, Pastor Hobbs, he asked me if we had anything to do with the freeways. So I know as a former state rep, you know a lot of those people at the state. So hopefully you will work with them, because he said the grass hasn't been cut. His church is right there, just at the freeway. So please see what you can do with that. And it hasn't been even cut at all this summer. So we sometimes are forgotten in our cities. So, but I will stay on you. As you know, I have always did, but now you're the director. So you got to make sure that it is done. So congratulations. And I look forward to continuing to work with you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, sir. Look forward to working with you. Thank you. You can sit down now. Thank you, Andy. All right, thank you. Next item, please, Madam Clerk.
On item number 3, requesting commission approval of the appointment of Scott Cabakitan to the position of Deputy Director of the Department of Public Services.
Madam Chair.
Go
I
ahead.
may,
Yes.
Andrew Candrivas, Department of Public Services. I'm here to introduce to you, some of you, not all of you, but to the body as a whole, Scott Cabakitan. And we are seeking his approval to be one of the 2 deputies in the Department of Public Services. You all know Elmika Steele, and Elmika Steele continues to be deputy. She is on the environmental services and parks side. Will continue to be the deputy for those divisions. Scott, if approved today, will be the deputy director over the what we call road fund divisions, equipment, engineering, and road maintenance. Some of you know Scott from his previous life, if you will. He comes to us from Republic Services, which is a waste hauling company, and he has 18 years experience with them, and some great experience he had with them is reaching out to many of your communities and getting to know your communities, the needs of your communities, servicing them, many of them. And before that, he was in the city of Plymouth Public Services. So he has a deep knowledge of the workings of what our employees do on the roadside. I'm beefing him up quick on the engineering side and how that all shakes out. And I know that he will be always responsive to you and to your communities and to our workers in those divisions. So I would like to ask this board for approval for Scott, and I'll ask Scott to come up at this point.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. I'm actually surprised Director Candrivas didn't mention one thing he's mentioned most of the time, that, that I do have a CDL, a working CDLB, so I can actually drive a plow truck and from a past life.
All
So,
right.
not that I'm planning on it because we're going to beef up the department so I don't have to, but just in case. So in all seriousness, today it's an honor and a pleasure to be in front of you for this appointment. I'm looking forward in the last 13, 14 days now, I think that I've been on the job. I've had an absolute blast. It's important to come to work and love what you do. And I just feel like I'm at home here at Wayne County. Not only do I live in the county, but public service is where my heart is. As Mr. Candrivas mentioned, I've spent 18 years with Republic Services, delivering service. And, what does it take to deliver service in the waste industry? It really or whether you're plowing snow, patching roads, and doing new construction projects. We're here to deliver service and to make sure that the constituents of Wayne County get the services they deserve, whether it's roads or plowing, et cetera. So looking forward to working with everybody here, and I will open the floor for any questions.
For approval, Madam Chair.
Support.
Thank you, Scott. You'll be a great addition to the team, especially now we know who to call directly for road issues. So that's the face, everyone.
Once I get a county phone, that should come in this afternoon. So.
And we'll make sure we get that cell number to all of us.
Yes, you will have it.
Questions from commissioners, Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Being the skunk I am at the picnic, I got it flagged here. I just want to make sure I'm reading my agenda. How long have you been acting as deputy director?
About 14 days.
Okay, I'll buy that. As long
I
as-
started out August 1st.
Okay, I'll deal with that one. I'm okay with that then.
Okay.
All right, just want to make sure.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Haydos.
Thank you, Madam the Chair. I have the honor and pleasure to know Scott for many years. I dealt with him on both sides when he was working for the private sector, dealing with the municipality. And I dealt with him as a commissioner who received a lot of complaint about the road in the past, and now the shoe on the other foot. Now, with a serious note is I know him as a person who get the job done, respond in a very positive way, excellent communicator. So I welcome you aboard and wish you well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any additional discussion? Okay, Scott, well, we look forward to your leadership. Thank you so much for being here today to introduce yourself to some of us who did not know you previously. We look forward to working with you.
I look forward to working with everybody, getting to know everybody better. So thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, as we have a motion, it's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Carries.
Very good. Congratulations to you both. Look forward to your leadership. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item number 4 is requesting commission approval of modification number 1 to a collective bargaining agreement between the Charter County of Wayne and ASME Council 25, Locals 1862, 2057, and 2926, AFL-CIO, extending the CBA by 2 years and granting pay increases.
Move approval.
It's been moved and supported. However, I would like someone from the administration to come to speak to this item, please. Go back. Yep, now you're fine. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioner Bell, and to this body. I'm Donna Wilson. I'm the PHR Director, and I'd like to introduce Matt Carmonas, who is the Interim Labor Relations Director, as Joe Martinico has retired, and he will present the contract. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Madam Chair, Honorable Commission. Thank you for having us here today. This contract is an extension for the AFSCME supervisors who are primarily in roads. This represents the latest in a step of many negotiations labor relations has been having over the past year to improve wages in the county. We have heard everybody, and we recognize that wages need to improve, and we're trying to address that. One thing I want to point out is that these started from mid-contract wage negotiations. So that is to say we had active contracts in place and did not have to bargain mid-contract because we already had an agreement, but we recognized the need and approached the unions and started with the AFSCME non-supervisors. Well, didn't start with AFSCME non-supervisors. That was probably the most recent. In this particular CBA, we have 3 wage increases, and the first is an attempt to bring wages closer to market, and that's done by across the board increases for some, and then restructuring the engineering classifications for that. Another important thing to note is that the initial wage, well, the second wage increase would be October 1st, a 2.5% wage increase across the board, and then the third wage increase would be October 1st of 2023. Across the board. Another important thing to note is that we have agreed to make this first wage increase retroactive to April 18th. If you recall, that's when the AFSCME non-supervisors agreement, which included wage increases, went into effect. There are a lot of unions here at Wayne County, as you well know, and simply put, you can't bargain with all of them at the same time. So part of how somebody's got to be first, somebody's got to be last, but we saw this as an opportunity to, not hold it against this, not work to the supervisor's detriment. And so we thought the fairest thing to do was to take it back to April 10th for this first one. And so we agreed to do that. That is a very general description of it. The negotiations did focus on wages, but I'd be happy to answer any questions any of you may have regarding this CBA extension.
Okay, will do. I have a list. Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Matthew Carmona?
Carmona? Carmona.
Yes.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So we've now, how many union, you mentioned that we got a lot of unions. So how many do we have?
17 unions.
17.
And
does that include supervisors and all that?
yes, that include GAA, AFSCME supervisors, a group of supervisors that are represented by GAA. Okay. To give you a heads up, we have reached a TA with that group recently, so that'll be coming before you very soon. And then there's a group of supervisors represented by AFSCME. And those supervisors tend to be in the roads, not just roads, DPS, sorry.
So how many more do we have to approve or to negotiate with?
Sure, we are currently, there are 2 outstanding that have not had TAs. And we are currently negotiating with them. We've been negotiating with them. That would be the dietitians and nutritionists and the operating engineers. We actually have negotiating this afternoon with the operating engineers, and I had a session yesterday with the dietitians and nutritionists.
So those are the only 2 that's outstanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you mentioned that it's a 2.5 increase for next year. And
the
then
first
the following year.
Correct. Yeah.
How much is it for the following year?
2.5% for.
Yeah, also.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Did you make any changes to benefits at all?
No, ma'am, we did not.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
I see Commissioner Kinlock. I see your hand. Becky McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You mentioned there's 17 unions. What's the total members? Do you know of those combined?
The total member count? Yes, approximately 2,100 of.
It's 2,100. Okay. Thank you.
Additional questions on this item? Additional questions on this item? And when did the membership vote?
It was ratified, I believe, July.
July 28th?
28th, yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's in our notes. Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay. Any additional questions? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been moved and supported. Please vote.
Motion carries.
All right, next item, Madam Clerk.
We're moving to the addenda, item number 5, requesting commission approval of a 3-year contract between the Charter County of Wayne and J&T Towing.
And number 6.
And number 6, requesting commission approval of a 3-year contract between the Charter County of Wayne and Gotch and Sons.
Okay, these two items did go to committee. They were pulled at the last full board meeting. There was some verifications made to make sure that they were in compliance. They are, and they're back on our agenda for vote today. Someone from the administration want to briefly speak on this one, on these two, 5 and 6? Oh, okay. Yes.
Morning, Commissioners. My name is Mamata Bergi. I'm Wayne County's Procurement Director. We did review the submissions for this solicitation, and we did not see any reason for concern. The bidders did respond, and their responses were deemed responsive.
And again, they were discussed at committee 4 weeks ago, I guess it's been now. Any discussion from commissioners on these two items? Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Yes, I wanted to clarify what type of circumstances do we need towing? Is it for all departments, or is it for just certain departments? And I know we have heavy equipment, but just trying to get a clear understanding of
When will we be towing something?
exactly.
Yeah, that's a good question. Go ahead. Under what circumstances would the county be using towing services?
Good morning, Commissioners. Michelle Yancey, Department of Public Services. This is for a heavy and lightweight towing, so it can be from our plow trucks to smaller vehicles.
So if we need towing for other vehicles in other departments, is it just for a certain department?
No, it's for the countywide.
Okay, so if a sheriff's vehicle goes down, this is the company that we would
Yes,
reach?
ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions for these two towing contracts? Okay, was there a motion? There was no motion, but I can have a motion for 5 and 6. It's been moved for items 5 and 6, moved and supported. Questions, one more time? Okay, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
We're on item number 7, requesting commission approval of amendment number 3 to the Criminal Justice Center Development and Purchase and Sale Agreement between the Charter County of Wayne and Wayne County Building Authority and Rock Development Company.
Mr. Heath, Mr.
Good
Court
morning,
Counsel.
Commissioners. James Heath, Wayne County Corporation Counsel. Also have Bill Rath, who is with CGR Owners Rep, and so he'll be here to answer any of your really hard questions for me. Madam Chair, I want to thank you for allowing us to come. This is in the spirit of the discussions we've had about moving quickly on CJC issues, even though this is a change order and not a procurement matter. Just as a way of background for commissioners, we are here because there are going to be needed changes to the resolution you approved several years ago with respect to our change order panel. We're working through that right now. And so this is a matter that's coming before the full full board for a change order. This is for paving of a parcel previously owned by Detroit Public Lighting. It was a substation. The county worked with the city to have the substation shut down and then eventually demolished. It has been demolished, and the environmental issues have been remediated. The area is contiguous with our current on-site parking. And so this is going to be a parking space that will add about 50 spaces to our overall CJC parking of 1,361 spaces that we have right now. We have a guaranteed maximum price of just under $427,000 for this work. That seems like a lot, Commissioner Moretti, as we talked about it. But just for some context, that's roughly $8,000 to $9,000 per space, which is a savings of roughly $12,000, which is the going rate for adding new spaces. And so it is advantageous for us to do this work right now while we're still in the construction phase. It would be more expensive if we were to do it after we get there, and it would alleviate the situation of being open and having an eyesore, an open space when we get into the CJC. And so I urge you to support this change order, and we will begin work hopefully in September with a completion date sometime in October.
Thank you. Any questions on this change request? Commissioner
Just wanted to
Anderson?
ask James, what are our needs as far as the assessment's been made of the number of spaces that are going to be needed in addition to this? Do we have a number on that?
Well, excellent question. Two points on that. We are still determining exactly the number. In fact, we have a consultant that we are adding to our team to help us determine exactly what that number is that we're going to need. It's a difficult question now because issues such as visitation to the courthouse and the like are things which are kind of in flux because, courts have not fully returned to full operation in person. But this is part of the solution. And so things that we're already working on, we are in discussions with some owners of property in the area to purchase additional lots and have those paved. We are going to have additional spaces that will come online over at Lincoln Hall of Justice. And so we are adding needed capacity, and we will catch up and determine exactly how much is going to be needed at the end of the day. But we are working, and this is probably one of the first steps in adding additional parking, these 50 spaces roughly.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Public parking, of the 1,000+ parking spaces, how many are going to be for the public versus staff? And
so right now we believe about 1,100 of our parking spaces, of our offsite parking spaces, will be used primarily for employees. And those are 2 lots that are already in our plan and already and will be developed in the original agreement. So we have about 230 other spaces right now for the public at large, and we are, as I said previously, we are in the process of developing additional spaces for the public. There's also street parking in the area. We've been working with the city of Detroit to determine that. And, it's an ongoing discussion and effort to make sure we have as parking for everyone who needs it in that area, Commissioner.
And will that be paid parking for the public, or have we?
That's it's going to be a mixed bag. Exactly how that mix comes out is not something that we're prepared to say right now. I see our financial officer staring me in the back right now, so I'm not going to. There's not much more I can say about that. But these are ongoing discussions, I can assure you.
And the last question, is it any thought around a garage or just
paved.
So for this project, we will be using the paved surface lots. And that is the most efficient and economical thing for us to do at this point.
Because if we build up, then that would, if we needed more parking, I don't know if that has been a consideration.
We've looked at all of our options with respect to the project currently on the table and have made what I think is the wise decision to stay with our current plan.
Mr. Clean?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Is this the old incinerator site?
No.
No, because when you said transfer station, trying to remember.
Substation, DT substation.
Pardon me?
Substation, Detroit Public Lighting substation. This is not the incinerator.
Oh, yeah, the public lighting.
Yes.
Okay. When we first did the contract for this new criminal justice complex, one of the things we discussed was there was a cap on the county contribution and that the rock or whatever, we're going to take the overruns. You're bringing this today for us to approve as a change order. So does that mean this is going to be on our side of the equation? We're going to add to our cap by spending this money?
This is a 100% county change that was not contemplated in the original development agreement.
Also in that original contract, there was a provision that ROC, its subsidiaries, whatever, would collect parking fees to up to $30 million, and then those lots would be turned over to the county after they had completed that. It was my understanding that the county is going up front with that. One of the provisions was we buy out that 30 million right at the beginning of the contract.
That's been done, yes.
How does this play into the parking? What did we get for $30 million if we're still buying additional parking?
We got the offsite lots that we currently control. That is what, when the commission approved that change to buy out ROC, this is adding additional parking. And one of the reasons it was important for us to make that, and I'm thankful that the commission did approve that, was because now that we have ownership of all of the parking lots, we are free to add as many lots as we want to accommodate additional parking. So had ROC still controlled for 30 years, the parking, those additional lots, the county would have been hamstrung in our ability to compete with them and add additional parking. And so this commission's foresight in approving that purchase of the additional lots from ROC has allowed us to do what we're here doing today, and will allow us to continue to add the additional spaces that we feel we're going to need.
Is this a correct interpretation of what you're saying, that the ROC folks were planning on having inadequate parking over there for all of the needs?
I'm sorry. Would you repeat that?
Yes. Trying to interpret what you're telling me here. The ROC folks were planning on having inadequate parking at that site over there. We bought out what they had, and now we have to add additional. That indicates to me that ROC was planning on inadequate parking spaces.
So we negotiated the number of parking spaces that with ROC that they would build. That was in the 2018 development agreement. We believe we can make use of additional spaces, and so that's.
So what was the original number of parking spaces?
I don't know the original number. Just I can get that exact number for you, Commissioner. Give us a second.
And how many additional do we think we need above and beyond that?
So that's part of the assessment in my answer to Commissioner Anderson that we are looking at right now. And as soon as we have a specific number that we think we're going to need to add, I'll come back and communicate that to you.
Well, those kind of answers indicate to me that they far undershot how many spaces over there, that we're adding additional spaces here, and we think we need more, and we're looking around for them. And of course, we're going to pay for those as we go forward, and that'll be above and beyond the 30 million buyout that we did with ROC. We bought out their parking spaces for 30 million.
Well,
These costs for additional spaces are above and beyond that 30 million we're going to spend.
this is additional parking. That's correct, Commissioner.
So it is above and beyond the 30 million.
It is. But you know, in our initial agreement with Rock, we were going to pay through concession fees for those parking lots anyway with Rock. And so we actually got a savings of a significant amount of money by buying out Rock early in that agreement. So the county was going to be paying Rock no matter what.
Well,
this just allows us to have control.
I haven't seen a little profit loss statement or anything. I'm taking your word for it that there was savings, but we spent 30 million to buy them out. And now we're going to spend additional dollars above and beyond that here for more parking spaces. If there is an analysis showing this is what the 30 million saved us over however how many years, to get to a true cost of what the parking is going to be over there, because I'm also interested that all of those spaces be made available for free to the public and to our employees. And it sounds like that decision has not been made yet.
Well, what I can tell you is that had we not purchased out of the concession agreement, that definitely would not have happened because Rock was going to be making money on that. What I can do is resend to your office the analysis that we did, I don't know, it was a year and a half ago or so, when the commission approved that change for the concession agreement.
Yeah, but that wouldn't
have some of that analysis
include
there.
the stuff we're talking about today, additional parking, if you did analysis a year and a half ago. So that's what I'm interested in, kind of how much money, what do we think we saved by going early? And how much additional cost this is going to be, and then what we think we're going to need for parking lots in the future. And then has there been a decision about what our employees going to pay for these spaces? Are people coming down for jury duty going to have to pay? Are any of these lots that the county will own now have a parking fee associated with them?
That remains an open question.
Pardon me?
That remains an open question.
Yeah, and see, I'm concerned about that too, and that's why I want to see in the background, well, if we saved all this money, you know, what's the issue then? Because we saved a lot of money about having to charge for these spaces. And so I'm just looking as we go forward for a more complete overview, taking in all of the considerations around parking, what the county saved by going early with the 30 million, how many more of these do we have to, and then some very good rationale about why we would charge people and who would we charge if that becomes the decision, and how much would we charge people to park there. So I understand the item before us today. I'm going to vote for it, but I need a more complete picture of all of the issues around parking that I have raised with you today. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Varga.
Thank you. During the budget process, we've been hearing that retention and hiring poses a problem when it comes to parking. So I am very happy that we at the county now own these, so we can actually perhaps talk about some of the benefits would be free parking for the employees, especially those critical ones that are leaving our county for another county who doesn't. And parking really, when it comes down to the whole year's worth of parking, is not that much, but when somebody offers it for free, it is. So it's just a perception that even if you gave them more money, the parking is not free. So otherwise, other communities do have it. So I would encourage, as we look at, and we're going to talk about this a lot more during the budget when we present it, but I'm glad that we're buying more, and we're going to have that option to give free parking to personnel.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To that point, I want to echo what my colleague Commissioner Varga mentioned. Mr. Heath, this is one of the big concerns that came in front of us in the budget hearings. The Wayne County prosecutors, Kim Worthy, mentioned that a lot of people are paying substantial amount of money annually for their parking. So I urge the administration to really look into providing free parking to all county employees if possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kinlock.
Yes, my question is that during the budget hearings, we had the courts, we also had the prosecutor come before the Ways and Means Committee, and they talked about both the challenges as well as what they hope would happen or would be opportunities when they move into the new facility. One thing that we did hear from the courts, and I think it's very important for that needs assessment to be done, is that we heard that the courts will be operating differently as it has been prior to, I guess, entering into this agreement, laying out these plans, that there's going to be a substantial change in how the courts are operating to include new technology, which would not require as many general public individuals from actually coming down to the courtrooms. So I think it's going to be very important for this parking needs assessment to be done to absolutely, I'm sure that conversation would include the courts. And because I'm thinking and just hearing as relates to the entire judicial system, there's going to be a structural change in how they will be operating and how they'll be transacting and hearing cases moving forward.
Excellent question, an excellent statement. As you know, our Supreme Court is encouraging courts throughout the state to continue with some of the advancements they've made with respect to remote proceedings and the like. That continues. We're even changing the way, and that's just our courthouse, even with our adult detention facility, the manner in which folks are going to be able to visit with their loved ones who are in that facility. We're providing, remote access so that visits can occur from the comfort of a person's home and not, taking up spaces downtown. So you are correct, Commissioner. We are undergoing a sea change in many respects with respect to how we perform those criminal justice systems and other administrative functions. And that makes the analysis that was done several years ago about parking needs somewhat outdated. And that's why we continue to work on that. So thank you for your comment.
Hey, any additional, Commissioner Clark Coleman?
Thank you, Attorney. I'm really impressed with the ability of visitors within the new facility to be able to visit remotely. Many times their loved ones live out of town and can't necessarily come in to visit with the inmates. So with this new technology that we will have in the facility, that's going to provide an avenue for those for the inmates to keep in touch with their loved ones and without them having to travel to the facility. So that's one of the items that I'm very impressed with.
That is state of the art in new facilities that are springing up across the country. That is going to be one of the most important procurement items that's going to come before this body, because there is lead time with that. So I'm glad that you are optimistic about that. And so
that's good. Thank you.
Hearing no further questions, please vote. I'm sorry, did we get a motion? Madam Clerk? I'm sorry, motion, please.
Move approval.
Moved and supported. Now vote. Thank you. Mr. Heath, come back. And I'm not sure if this is for you or for Sue. This is in regards to, because as you all know, we don't work 9 to 5, we work 24 hours. So at 7:30 last night, we received a phone call about an issue.
7:30 is for Sue.
Yeah, 7:30, okay. Received a phone call about a change in the amendment to the contract on opioid. Remember the opioid contract that we approved a few months back? There's a change to that, and we need to be abreast of that change and how it affects us. And actually really doesn't affect us, but because we're a party in an overall contract, it is being amended. Sue, you can take it from there.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Chair, for allowing us this opportunity. Late July, we received an amendment to the opioid settlement that needed to be signed. We, in discussions with Commission Counsel, we did submit the amendment to this honorable body for approval. Unfortunately, as Commissioner indicated, late last night, we received communication that the state was requiring that the signed amendment be returned to them by Monday. And so just as a highlight, the amendment to the settlement does not impact the county's allocation whatsoever. The finalized numbers, percentage for Wayne County remains the same. The only change to the amendment was adding some municipalities. I think there was 3 new municipalities that were added in the addendum, and the allocation to some of the municipalities did in fact change, but it does not impact Wayne County's allocation whatsoever. Unfortunately, because it is an amendment, it does have to be submitted and re-signed.
So again, this is an amendment that was made to that overall contract, which we're a party of. However, nothing changes for Wayne County, but we wanted to bring that for transparency, bring it to this body to let you know and be aware of that amendment that the CEO will sign, because the state is indicating that they need that signed by Monday. So any questions? Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just for clarification, what is the amendment?
It's not in our packet. This is something that came up last night. This is just
okay.
for
So what is
FYI.
okay, what is the amendment?
The amendment, like as I indicated, it changes the allocation, it finalizes the allocation to municipalities. There were 3 municipalities that were added that were not previously there, which is what was approved by this body. But as I've indicated, there is 0 impact to Wayne County whatsoever in the amendment.
So we added 3.
We didn't add them.
We didn't
We
add.
did add them. The
But
state, yeah,
the amendment
the
added.
overall amendment. did.
Okay,
Yes.
and the 3 municipalities, what were they?
Blackman Charter Township, Genesee County, Mount Morris Charter Township, and I believe that's it.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions, Commissioner Anderson?
Did it affect, if I could, did it affect any of the current parties, municipalities and that on how much they're getting?
Some of their allocations did change, yes.
Okay. Rather than you going through all of that now, can you let us know by communication of some type?
Sure, when the settlement is, before the board, we can
Okay.
certainly answer that.
I'm interested in seeing
Yep.
those that were reduced. Okay, thank you.
Questions? Okay, thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Hey, Madam Clerk, let's go, let's see. Let's do page 8.
We are moving to page 8 of the agenda, testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 6 items listed.
There a motion?
Support.
Moved and supported. Please note the certificates that are listed on here. Any discussion? Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Clerk Coleman, I was wondering, item number 2, if I could be added. Pastor Eddie Williams, his anniversary. Can I be added to your honoring? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carried. Motion carries.
Item number C.
We're moving to memoriams. There is one name listed.
Commissioner Scott.
Longtime family of Highland Park, Miss Renee Fogel. I attended her funeral last Saturday, and my prayers go out to the community. She was just an awesome woman, a cook, a nurse, and just did some wonderful things. So we just want to honor her today.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any additional memoriams that be added? Hearing none, everyone please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. Clerk, page 2.
We are returning to page 2 of the agenda, offering of all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There is one item listed, a resolution by all commissioners honoring Khalil Rahal for his distinguished service to Wayne County, including his commitment to overseeing the county's economic resurgence and his professionalism in his various positions.
Well, 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 the moment we've been waiting for. Mr. Rahal, could you please come up here with me, please? Come on up, come on. You get to come up, you get to come all the way up this time. I know you didn't know how to get up here, do you? Come on up. So as you all know, Mr. Khalil Rahal will be leaving us. It is bittersweet. We are so happy for his future and what it all entails, but we are saddened that we're going to lose his talent, his personality, and all that he brings to Wayne County. So in honor of him leaving, we do have a lovely resolution signed by all commissioners. I'm not going to read all of it, just the first whereas. Honoring Khalil Rahal, distinguished service to Wayne County government. Whereas it's with great pleasure that we, the members of the Wayne County Commission, pause and honor Khalil Rahal, Chief Administrative Officer of Wayne County, as he embarks on a new career following 13 years of service. His many duties in government stretched from Wayne County to Washington, D.C. to the prosecutor's office. Whereas Khalil's leadership has been lauded and he was recognized as Crane's Detroit's 40 under 40 and 50 people to know in government by the Michigan Economic Development Association as 2019 Medalist of the Year. This is a resolution to just say we appreciate you. We are going to miss you, but I know you're going on to bigger and better things. But we want to, of course, acknowledge you because we couldn't let this day, this week go by without that acknowledgement. So let's give Mr. Khalil Rahal a round of applause for his service to Wayne County. Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before I make some remarks about Khalil, I want to recognize his father, my coach in the 1980s, my soccer coach. He's the one who taught me discipline and to be patient on the soccer field. Ahlan bikum. Madam Chair, I would like to take a moment to thank and recognize a man of integrity wealth of knowledge, and a great public servant who will be dearly missed in Wayne County government. I have had the honor and privilege to work with Khalil on many occasions, and I can say that he has been a great asset to our county. I called Khalil the financial brain of Wayne County, and I truly meant that. To know Khalil is to know someone who will go above and beyond to work on behalf of everyone, whether he knows them or not. That is because he wants to do the right thing to improve their lives without looking for credit or recognition. I know everyone here has a lot that they would like to say about Khalil, so I will keep it short. Khalil, I really want to thank you for all the work that you have done and continue to do for all the residents of Wayne County, especially your work during the pandemic. You have proven to be a leader who thrives on empowering those around him, and that is something truly powerful within itself. Thank you for all the work that you have done behind the scenes that many of us do not know about. I look forward to continuing to work with you to improve the lives of all those throughout Wayne County. I wish you the best of luck in your new endeavor, and I know that DTE knows that they are very lucky to have you on their team. Our loss in Wayne County is their gain. Khalil, thank you.
We have several commissioners who would like to say a word. Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Khalil, congratulations. I have been very impressed with the wonderful job that you've done for Wayne County, and we're going to miss you. However, I challenge you to resolve a situation with horsepower. And you told me you were going to get an answer to that. You were going to resolve it. So now that you're leaving, I'm asking you if that's been resolved. And if not, even though you've left, I'm asking that you make sure that you get that situation resolved,
Yes,
even after you leave.
Even after you leave.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Khalil, we're all very happy for you for your next part of your life moving forward, but we are really all sad that you're leaving. But I want to thank you for everything you've done for me, being the chair of COPS. You were always available either to meet with me or texting me or calling me. And I appreciate every single thing you've done for this county. And I knew this day was coming. I kept telling you every time I saw you, please don't leave us, please don't leave us. But I knew that someone was going to, swipe you up because you have so much talent. So thank you for everything. I will be keeping your number and just checking in with you to see how things are going. But thank you for everything.
Commissioner Hayles and Commissioner Vargas.
Thank you, Madam the Chair. I really have great experience working with Mr. Khalil Rahal through difficult projects. To mention one of them, the Pinnacle in my district. I was impressed with his patience, knowledge, hard work. All those things sometimes would not lead to success if you don't have the patience to deal with difficult parties who really mile distance from each other. With his patience, put things on the table, discuss that, and go back to the issue, delay it, and finally you got the result with successful environment to bring the issue to reality. I was very impressed with his patience, and that added to his success. And we accomplished a lot in District 11, working with him in some of the municipality. I will miss that a lot. He was a great communicator between myself as a commissioner and the administration on too many different issues. We really accomplished, I look back in the 7 years we worked together, we have a lot to be proud of. I want to thank you for that and wish you well in the new endeavor and hope you reach your dream. Thank you for everything you've done for Wayne County.
Thank you. The truth is, he heard that I was leaving and he just couldn't stay working without me. I love you, Khalil.
Commissioner Knizik.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also really want to wish Khalil well on his next journey here. I think that as the word trickled out about this transition, and I had the opportunity to talk with a number of my colleagues, we all said the same thing that Commissioner Marecki pointed out. We knew that this day was coming. Khalil is, easily one of the hardest workers that we have around the county, 24/7, weekends. You look at the different work, projects, and efforts that are happening in every district across Wayne County. You can look and you can see Khalil being a part of that. And so for as much as he has given of himself to the county, I think we also have to stop and recognize that sometimes that comes at the expense of time spent doing other things, time spent with family, with kids. And so I want to thank Khalil's family for sharing him with us for these last couple of years that he's been a part of the county. And I want to wish you well on your journey. And what I hope is that as you look back on your time here and as you continue to do your work across the county, your fingerprints are on just about everything. And I think you're leaving a beautiful legacy behind. So I want to thank you for everything and wish you well. Thanks, Khalil.
Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say, Khalil, I was very impressed by you from day one. As a newer commissioner, you taught me a lot. Even though I'm a commissioner in my seat, I just love you're just smooth in what you do. You're calm, you're cool, collective, and you inspire me to do the same and to work hard. You're a very hard worker, and we will miss you, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, congratulations, young man. I want to thank you for all that you do. You do it with such a kindness, a smile, such integrity. I do appreciate you, and will miss being able to pick up the phone and call you and for you to call back. It's just awesome. So thank you. And as it's already been said, it's our loss and DTE's gain. But so God bless you. May he continue to smile on you. I don't know how you do all that you do, but you do it and you do it well. And when you do it with a smile, it is even better. So thank you so much. God bless you.
Anderson.
Thank you. I think that just about everything has been said. I will share a personal experience with Khalil. There's not a single time that I've tried to reach out to him that if he didn't answer the phone, that he didn't call back. And that's with the demand placed on you for the job that you were doing for the county. That's quite a challenge, I know, to get back to all those phone calls. And I remember many times that he'd call, he was at home, and as was said by my colleague, Commissioner Knizik, you had to do it. You did all this and managed to take care of your family, but I would hear kids in the background a lot of times, and I knew you were with your family, and you never neglected your job. And hats off to you and what you've done for this county and for the interaction that we've all had with you. Good luck to you. DTE is getting a great person. Thank you.
Mr. Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have nothing good to say about Khalil. I'm not going to mention the project was 20 years before he got involved with it down at the Van Horn Allen Road grade separation project. I'm not going to mention how he worked with the state, the county, and the city of Woodhaven to get the grade separation project finally moving forward after 20 years. I'm not going to mention any of that, but when that project is done, I will give him a ride across the great separation at Van Horn Down Road. So I'm not saying nothing good about him. Thank you.
Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just for the record, I'm a no vote on this decision. But I just want to wish you well and thank you so much for all of your help and all of your hard work on everything. Good luck.
Have all the commissioners who wanted to say something. Let me just say a few words as we close out. Do you just want to say, I'm sorry, Commissioner Kinlock? I'm sorry, go ahead, Commissioner Kinlock.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I absolutely want to say congratulations to Khalil. Before I became a commissioner, this body appointed me to the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, as well as the Economic Development Corporation Board. And I'm gonna tell you, it was new. And Khalil pulled together an incredible team that we all had congratulated and recognized the other day when they came before us for the budget hearing. Khalil has been someone who made himself available, and that's important for what we do. We get calls all times of the night, and to have someone in administration who has been the person to go to for practically everything, I know for myself, and that person to return calls and to respond with compassion is incredible, and it will be sorely lost. And I absolutely want to say congratulations and thank you on behalf of the residents in my district and all who I've called you and you have assisted over the years. Thank you.
You know, when I became chair, Khalil and I began to have several conversations several times a week. I'll just mention a couple of things. I'll just say what they are. Meals in Hines Park. We all remember those conversations. Delegated authority. He and I had drag-outs about that. We sometimes agreed to disagree. We were always respectful. We always understood each other's perspective. We really understood each other because we both have young families, parents. You know, we really shared a lot and had a lot in common. And I just, like as everyone said, we knew this day was coming because he's so talented. And DT's gain is certainly our loss. But it's great that we have such talented people here in Wayne County that other people see that and they snatch them away from us. But it's because they get their grit, they get their experience, they get everything that they need to succeed right here in Wayne County. And then we can't be mad when they go and have their wings expand more and they glide and soar. So we are just so very happy to have had the opportunity to work with Mr. Rahal. He will certainly be missed. It's funny, when I first met him years ago, I wasn't sure what his name was. So I put it in my phone as Khalili. And so when my phone rings all the time, my children see the phone, they say, Khalili's calling again. But you know, that just speaks to, again, as was stated, with his hard work, his dedication, evenings, weekends, getting the job done for Wayne County. That's exactly what he was about. And he will continue to do that. I'm sure he'll continue to know us and think about us in his role at DTE. We all have a direct contact to DTE. So if your bill gets too high, we know who to call now. And we're just really going to miss Khalil and his outstanding professionalism and work ethic here in Wayne County. So at the end of the meeting, if it's okay, we can get a picture with you and everyone. But this time, let's hear from our honoree, Mr. Khalil Rahal.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and to this honorable body for such a prestigious and honoring resolution. It means a lot to me. I want to thank the county executive for providing me with all this opportunity. And I really want to thank each and every one of you. You all did not make it easy on me. And I'm a better person because of it. And I'll never forget the life lessons that I learned in this chamber, because I put you all in some difficult positions for sure. We took some risks and we got some stuff done together. And for that, I'll forever be grateful. I want to thank my staff. I have the best staff. You know, I got a chance to get some really good advice early in my career, and they said to hire smarter people and keep them around you. And I have really a fantastic staff of people who are still here, people who have gone on to do other things. And Wayne County has a ton of talent to carry this county forward. So I'm really very, very thankful. I really want to thank my family. You know, it's my 10-year anniversary with my wife. She's also 14 years, going on 14 years as a Wayne County prosecutor, and does a wonderful, wonderful job there. In addition to dealing with my foolishness, we have 3 very loud kids, and she does a lot to help me with my father, and for that I'll forever be grateful. My sister, Nada Rahal, who has been a career teacher here in Wayne County, and I can't thank her enough for all her help with my dad, and Sarah Rahal, who you probably all know, she's the best reporter in the damn state. And so I'm really very, very excited for her and her career. My father, who has taught me so many life lessons, and ever since he's had the opportunity to move in with me a couple of years ago, I got to tell you, I have become a better son, a better father, a better husband, a better brother, a better employee, a better boss, and I've gotten the better end of that deal 10 times over. So I can't thank everybody enough for all the support that they've had for me. I'm really very, very proud of the things we did here. I was very proud of my time at the prosecutor's office. I was very thankful to Prosecutor Worthy for giving me all the responsibilities she did very early in my career. I was one of the lead prosecutors in the criminal sexual assault unit, trying some of the most difficult cases. And it was how I got on the county executive's radar in the first place. And it is where I met my wife. And so I've always been very thankful to that office. We have enjoyed a lot of financial success in Wayne County. And, you know, with hopefully this body's help, we'll get to an 8th straight balanced budget and, you know, 8 straight years of a credit rating increase. And there is a lot of people responsible for that. It certainly isn't only one person. But what I will say is I'm very proud of the fact that our shop has had this budget for about 4 years. And so I'm really very, very proud of its success. And we had it during some of the most unpredictable times. And so we worked really, really hard on that. I'm very proud that we were able to turn around our reputation in economic development. When I took it over, it was still the economic development growth engine. It was still EDGE. And you all remember what those days were like. We had one of the worst reputations in the state. And today, our economic development team is locally, regionally, statewide. It is nationally recognized with individual awards, team awards, project awards. I can't be more grateful for that turnaround. And I'm also very, very proud that we focused on trying to help pull people out of poverty as a part of that strategy. I don't know that that was really done before. We made monumental changes in our CDBG program. Today, low-income communities are getting twice as much money than they ever did. I was really proud of all the work that Al Haydous and I did on SMART and public transportation. We weren't always successful, you know, but today, when there was no general manager at SMART, Al and I were able to get SmartFlex up and going, and we got the best public transit line in the entire state, the Michigan Avenue Fast Line that takes people from downtown to Detroit to the airport. And because of that, and that was a big fight, we told those other counties we were not going to budge until we saw that line make it all the way to District 11. And today, there are people of all races, of all classes, riding the bus together to work or fly out of the airport. I'm really very proud of that. I'm really very proud of the foreclosure prevention efforts that we put through. The Pay As You Stay program, which is legislation that we authored together and that we got introduced and has helped keep people. There are people in homes today that would have been foreclosed on and kicked out of their homes without the work of what we did here in this chamber. I'm really very, very proud of that. I'm proud of what we did during the pandemic. You know, when the deputy county executive got severely ill, the county executive turned to our team and told us to rise to the occasion. And you all know this. There are 2 types of people in this world when there is a crisis. There are people that run and hide, and there are people that run to the front line. And we put a budget plan together. We brought it before this body. We provided small businesses with grants. We gave $500 stimulus debit cards to people who are out of work. We gave rental assistance. We gave nonprofit grants. We gave flood assistance grants. Our HUD program gave food assistance grants, and we aimed all of those resources to the most vulnerable amongst us. And I'm really very, very proud that during that time, I challenge anybody to find the county that performed the way that our team performed. I don't think you're going to find it. I've challenged people and they haven't been able to. I'm really very, very proud that we have set the groundwork for how we ought to spend our ARPA funds. We've got a lot of work to do for sure. And I still say we because I feel like I'm still a part of it, but the county's got to right side itself and it's got to spend money in these communities and partner with them to get those projects over the finish line. But I'm very, very confident in Huey Newsom. I'm very confident in Luz Meza and Andrew Candrivas. You all don't need my confidence on Janelle Allen and Assad Turfy and James Heath and the rest of the team that's going to move all these things forward. We're in healthy shape and we have good talent and we've got a lot of projects to do. So I really am very proud of that. We did a lot of projects in Wayne County. They weren't all easy, but our economic development team in total did well over 75 projects. We got $5 billion investment over that time. We created thousands and thousands of jobs. They used to say that when the country gets a cold, Michigan gets the flu. And if that's true, urbanized counties like Wayne County usually end up in the ICU. Well, here we are. We stand before you with having faced bankruptcy, a global pandemic, and today we have an A credit rating with a positive outlook. We did a lot of good, and I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of that. Just some parting words. You all know this. Public service is not for the faint of heart. You have to have really thick skin to get through this thing. In the right place, of course. It's okay. If your heart is in the right place and you work really, really hard, you have this opportunity to change your little corner of the world. And I'm really very, very thankful for you all to help us do all that. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again, Khalil. We'll have a picture after the end of the meeting, and then there's some festivities throughout the day as well. Right. At this time, we would like to go to public comments. Oh, I'm sorry, let's do a motion. A move by Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun for the resolution. Is there support? Support. Let's vote on the resolution on our agenda. Okay, do a voice vote? Because while everybody's going around saying goodbye, we'll do a voice vote. All in favor of the resolution acknowledging Khalil Rahal, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Carries.
Thank you so much. Next item on our agenda, please, on back to page 9.
Yes, we are on page 9 of the agenda, public comments, and I do have some cards.
Okay. All right, let's do the cards, please, first here in the chambers. 2 minutes.
Larry Donald Verse.
Say the name again, Madam Clerk.
Larry Donald Verse.
Next card.
Cunningham. Cunningham.
Nothing so? Okay, on the line, I see a hand, Stephen Haring.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. 2 minutes, please.
Awesome. So my name is Stephen Haring of Detroit, and so it's been almost 18 years since former racist Livonia Mayor Jack Kirksley decided to opt out of SMART, misplacing many low-income workers and students largely of color. And we know someone in the room was heavily involved in that, but recently Oakland County decided to end this apartheid opt-out. I think it's time for Wayne to do it. It's too late to obviously revise it and put it on the ballot, but transit activists will work like hell to make sure the opt-out option is gone in Wayne County for the next election. And I also don't approve of building a bunch of surface lots by the jail. Surface lots have been one of the biggest eyesores in Detroit, and it would be a lot more smarter and probably around the same cost to build a more secure parking garage.
Okay, thank you so much. Next public comment, Kappa. He's muted.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good morning, commissioners. While I listened to your board discuss public safety today and the need to clean up trash at expressway ramps, which I do appreciate and support, as a concerned citizen of Wayne County, it is also important to me that you address public safety at our borders as well. I recently heard a representative from our state legislature assert that 30 of our border agents were sent to help at the southern border crossing. One would assume then that that leaves the Detroit border short personnel. Your commission review, oversight, and communication of support regarding legitimate border security would assure concerned citizens that it is not being overlooked. I look forward to your follow-up on this issue. Thank you for the opportunity to approach you.
Thank you. Next person, Ms. Buffington.
Good morning. I just wanted to congratulate Khalil Rahil on his new position with DTE and indicate I hope to follow soon. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Buffington. Robert?
Good morning. Can I be heard?
Yes.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. Robert Pulaski from Southgate, Wayne County. It's good to see all of you after a long 3-4 months. For anyone that doesn't know me, I'm a transit activist within Detroit, Ann Arbor, and also Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm calling in regards today for Khalil Rahal on his resignation. I think that the resignation is kind of surprising, but I think that Wayne County deserves a person, and that was Khalil Rahal, and I enjoyed my time coming and working with SMART and also Abdul Haddis on certain issues like the Michigan line. I gave him tons of public feedback, and Khalil Rahal was one of the people I talked to about that. And just watching him, grow from being this, chairman on the SMART board, working with Abdul Haddis for all the great work, throughout the 2 years. And now we're seeing, complete change now in Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne counties for SMART, which is absolutely amazing. But under Khalil Rahal's leadership, we brought SMART back to Wayne County. We brought the economic development. We brought the jobs. We brought everything to Wayne County, and that is a start. So I just want to say thank you to Khalil Rahal, and I do apologize I'm not able to make it in person to say this, but I do appreciate all the time, and I look forward to the best to Khalil and the best future. Sudden surprise to see him leave, but he's doing great things for the county, and I look forward to the best. But as always, thank you for the time and opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else on Zoom? Ms. Shepherd, I don't see your hand, but Ms. Shepherd?
Good afternoon. Yolanda Shepherd, President of ASME Local 1862. And on behalf of the members of Local 1862, we appreciate Commissioner approval on the contract. There's still dedicated workers in Wayne County, and Local 1862 represents some of these workers. The members of this bargaining unit worked on site through the pandemic to keep the public safe. We worked through snow and ice. We worked through the emergency cold patching. I appreciate the work they do, and I appreciate your support by approving the contract. This shows commitment to the workers and that they are appreciated. We also look forward to working with Mr. Candrivas. As the motivational speaker Stovall once said, we need to be aware of what others are doing, applaud their efforts, acknowledge their successes, and encourage them in their pursuits. So when we all help one another, everybody wins. Thank you, so Wayne County can win.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you zooming in with us today. Anyone else on Zoom? Anyone on the telephone? Okay, there was Mr. Cunningham in the chambers. If you can come to the podium, please. You have 2 minutes, sir.
My friend, Mr. Pulowski, he did a good job. I just wanted to ask these things that some of the demographic of like how much money you make, you're not around nobody who takes the bus. There's Detroit Department of Transportation. Has no idea how long it takes, an hour and a half wait, or it doesn't show up at all, or they lost 2 or 3 jobs, good paying jobs, because the buses are not on time. They're short drivers is the key. They, instead of me paying for the flyers now, DDOT prints them out for me. Any flyers that they have coming up. There was 2 virtual, one was virtual, one was at the Shoemaker terminal, that passed. There's one September 13th and September 15th job fairs. They're felony friendly, very felony friendly, and they pay for the CDL. They pay you 12 weeks. There's no other place to 12 weeks to get the CDLB for you and during that training. And so I'm asking any commissioner, if they like a flyer and they can duplicate it or put it or go to the page, DDOT on Facebook, Detroit Department of Transportation. Hey, you may not care, but you should care about the working poor trying to get to work. I'm a taxi driver, so I know I hear it all the time. It's good for business, but it's horrible for your fellow Christian, fellow Muslim, fellow person that they get to where they need to go on time. So they need bus drivers that can use your clout in your position. I also have the number of the deputy director, her cell phone number, and also Ayabami, the outreach coordinator for DDOT, if anybody wanted that. So what did I do about these flyers? Is there any way I can leave some for you?
All right. We'll have our staff pick them up from you.
All righty, and I
And we'll
thank
pass them
you.
out.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon. It's my first time here ever.
Well, thank you for coming down. We appreciate you just being your first time, sir. Don't be a stranger.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional members in the chambers for public comments? Any emails?
Yes. My name is Matthew Taylor, and I have a few questions for you in the waning guidelines of quarantine for COVID-19. What are you doing to disseminate the information provided by the CDC that says it is no longer necessary to quarantine if presenting with COVID-19 symptoms? Are you making sure that this information is clearly visible to your constituents? I am asking these questions only because even now, many are still afraid of the effects of this virus and may not know that now, after 2 long years of vehement do your part and flatten the curve type propaganda, you will now readily to tell your constituents that the virus is no longer considered a quarantine-worthy threat. No doubt you may say it is because of the prevalence of vaccines among the people. However, it has shown that the most COVID-19 affected areas, inner cities, are also some of the most reluctant people to receive the vaccine, yet the numbers are still plummeting. So will you tell your constituents that COVID-19 is no longer considered a viable threat to them? Thank you, Matthew Taylor. Dear Commissioners, early this year, a JAMA study was published that showed that the crude reporting rates of myocarditis in COVID shot recipients exceeded expected rates across multiple age and sex strata. Toward the end of the study, they admit that actual myocarditis rates per million doses are likely higher than estimated. A study from Thailand monitored 314 adolescents between the ages of 13 and 18 who had received the first dose of Pfizer shot. 13 were lost to follow-up, and the remaining subjects, 202, were boys. After receiving the second dose, 18% of the 301 subjects had abnormal EKG signals, and 7 out of the 202 boys had subclinical myocarditis. With this data in mind, do the COVID-19 shots sound like they're safe and effective?
Last one. Okay, thank you so much. Next item.
Reconsiderations,
There are none. Next item.
remarks by members.
Commissioner Varga.
Thank you. We have lunch ready for you outside the chambers. And also we are going to start at 12:30 for Ways and Means. We have a public hearing today. I would like everyone to have an opportunity to pay tribute on the 32nd floor or wherever for our friend. So once you check in, maybe we can take turns so we keep a quorum going in Ways and Means. But we would like to start at 12:30 with roll call for Ways and Means. And we have a very tight budget because then there's a tour of the jail at 3 o'clock. So we have a packed agenda, but we're going to get through it. Thank you.
Thank you. Other remarks by members? Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just want to reiterate to commissioners that the applications for the Wayne County Commission Youth Council are now open and they close on September 2nd. I know a couple of commissioners already have their 2 appointees, but if you have anyone in, any young person in your district that's interested in government and maybe sometimes shadowing the commissioners and speaking with elected officials, just having their voice heard in Wayne County. This is what we do on the Wayne County Commission. In addition, we are looking at adding an internship at the end of the program year, which will be when students are out of school for the summer. So I hope you will look for those 2 appointees. We had some dynamic young people last year. Some of them are continuing. Some of them have graduated, so they are no longer a part. So thank you so much for appointing those dynamic young people. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner McCormick? Madam Chair?
Commissioner Kenlock.
Yes. On that, can we have a list of all of the current members, specifically with their term expirations? Just wanted to know the 2 that I recommended, whether or not their terms have expired or they've grown out of the program.
Yes, I will do that. No problem.
Thank you. Let's take a moment to recognize a birthday. Terry Recky's birthday is on August 24th. Let's give her a big round of applause for her birthday. Happy birthday. Upcoming birthday. We won't meet before your birthday, so we'll have a beautiful and blessed birthday. Any additional remarks by members? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.